I'm going to start with a few deep breaths. I always feel calmer after doing that. And my intention when I'm on camera is to always be calm and to have a regulated nervous system. And I find that the breathing helps. It's March and I'm on day 6 of my cycle. So I'm out of the cave that is menstruation, and now I'm in the follicular cycle. So I'm feeling like my energy is back and I'm ready to make some videos and make some art. And I'm really trying to time the recording of the videos, the making of the videos with my cycle when I feel the most energized and happy. And not to say that I won't make videos when I'm in pre-menstruation or like the autumn or winter cycle. Like I might. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. It just feels like a more vulnerable time, and like I don't really want to do anything. So I wouldn't say I don't want to do anything. It's more like it's like wrapping up things instead of starting new things at that time. Whereas right now it's considered like I'm in my spring phase, and the spring is like the energy is returning and it feels good. I've actually done 2 paintings within the last week, 2 very large paintings. I'm working on raw canvas again, which I haven't done since when I was at my millwork studio. So that would have been in 2020 or 2021. And I was making these like really large paintings, which like it just feeds my soul to paint that way. But I was stretching them, and so I had all these gigantic canvases that I needed to figure out how to store, and I was like moving them around, and my studio was in a co-work space and it was 100 square feet. So I quickly grew out of that space and was like, storing my canvases outside of my studio space, which I didn't really like. They were fine with it though. Everybody was cool with it. But it's like I had this idea and I wanted to do this thing, but I was seeing it through to the final stage, whereas now I'm like, oh, I don't need to stretch it at all. Or, unless it's going to be mounted on the wall, is shown in a show or a gallery, or somebody buys it and it goes in their house. So I'm not even working on them stretched. I'm working on them like just rolling out the canvas, cutting it, and painting directly on it. And then when I'm done, I can just roll it up. And a tube rolled up is like so much easier to keep track of and to store. So I'm doing something new today, always. I feel like my process is always about experimentation, and I don't know, that's like the most fun for me. So what I'm doing today. I was working on 5x8, and now I'm actually working on 5x11. So it's like much longer than I was working on before. But I have all my paint mixed, so I will grab my trays and get started. So the experiment today is a larger canvas, and I'm working from light to dark, which seems to be really working with this method. It's funny because I was doing this before, but I've learned so much more now. Just a sec. Just grabbing these bottles from up here. Yeah, I've learned so much more now than I did from when I was working in 2020 about the layering of colors. Like what I learned the other day, I was trying to make my pigments, just gonna grab a stir stick. I was trying to make my pigments lighter because I wanted them to not be as saturated on the canvas. I actually want them to be transparent. And what I found was, you know, I was mixing white in with the colors because that's what I normally do when I paint. It's like, oh, I want a lighter variation of that color. I add white. But the white was making everything chalky and taking away the translucent appearance. So what I discovered was I just add more water to the pigments, and it's just acrylic mixed with medium and water. So I got this. JD gave me this, which he uses for our plants. We have a lot of plants in the studio. Because I was complaining about my spray bottle. I was like, oh, it's sticking, and I would have to just keep running to the sink, which is outside of our studio. So I was like going to the sink to refill it because it's just, I'm trying to like soak the canvas. And so he was like, why don't you just use, I don't know what this is called, and I was like, no, it just seems like, I don't know. It was just a new tool that I wasn't, I didn't know how it worked, but then I used it and it works really great. So I'm just going to wet the canvas first. He and I just finished up at a dog sitting gig. We were there Wednesday, I think, or Thursday. We started Thursday of last week till Sunday. And this morning it was nice. It was nice to wake up in my own bed, and I had a really good sleep. I love dog sitting. I love the variety. I love the dogs. It just changes things up. It's always nice to get back to our world, our art world. So I probably added a bit too much water in this one. Maybe not. I actually tried to film a video yesterday and nothing was working probably because of Mercury retrograde, which Mercury's in retrograde until the 20th, March 20th. So not that much longer. Not that much longer to go. So we tried it yesterday, and I didn't know if things were filming. We're trying this new thing with like the overhead camera so that we can see what I'm painting as I'm painting it. And yeah, the overhead camera, JD asked me if the light was on, the red light, and I was like, no. And so it seemed like it wasn't recording, but then he checked after and it was recording, but it ended up being fine because I don't know, the words, like, they weren't coming yesterday. I wasn't feeling the flow of speaking, which is okay. Some days are like that. Yesterday was definitely like that. I actually felt a little depressed yesterday, which I have not felt in a long time. It wasn't new to me though, because I used to feel depressed quite often when I was a teenager. And I realized it's okay to feel that way. Of course it's okay. I think so often we label certain emotions as bad, and we don't want to feel it and try to deny that we're feeling that way, or like force happiness, because it's like, well, I don't want to feel this way. But I think because I make it about myself, it's like, oh, I'm a depressing person. And it's like, no, it's literally like just right now. Oh, I might have ruined that. That was another thing that I wanted to actually work through and talk about. When we were in drawing last week, every Monday night, JD and I go to drawing class and draw nude models, and it's just like so, JD calls it like going to the gym for artists. It's like working a muscle. And what came up for me last week when I was drawing, because your mind wanders, and so I was really loving my drawings, but I struggle with the hands. I'm at the point where I procrastinate on the faces and the hands because I find them challenging. So I got to a point in my drawing where I was like, oh, I really like my drawing, but I don't want to ruin it by adding hands. Even though, like, that's the only way to work through to get better, is to just like keep going. But yeah, my thought was, I don't want to ruin it. And then I remembered that I've been talking about that in my voice memos and on camera, and this feeling of like, can I even ruin something? And I know that I can't. I know that that's not even, I mean, do I know that that's a thing? I guess there's part of me that does think that it is possible to ruin something. It's like not having confidence in my abilities, or which is so funny because my whole process is about experimentation and seeing where things go, not knowing where they're gonna go. So is it even a potential to ruin something? Like, and what even is ruined? When something's ruined, it's like, it's just another layer in the process. And to me, it's like not finished yet. It's like, well, I can just keep going with it. I liked some of these spatters, but then I thought it might look a little bit like leopard print, just with the color tones. And I don't know if I really want to go in that direction. I'll just tone them down a little bit. I'm liking this brown color. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the wash light so that when I go over it next time, it's you get the layered effect, which is what I really, really like. But if I go too dark with it to like at the beginning, then I can't really layer the next time. So I'm just blotting it away with linen. I found this duvet cover at the thrift store, and it was 100% linen from India, and it's been sitting here waiting for me for a while, and yesterday I ended up cutting it up because I'm like, oh, I'm going to use these for rags. Actually, I used some before and they worked really well, so I just ended up cutting up the whole thing. I like that. You can see how it kind of fades together. I really like that as the first layer. I think this brush I actually got from a kitchen store. I want some more brown. Oh, I didn't spray the canvas over here, so it's coming off. It's not as watercolory, which I don't mind. I kind of like that. I like the variations in color and tone and brush stroke, and yeah, that's nice. Using different size brushes and different types of brushes, like most of them are from the hardware store. The foam brushes I use a lot, and they're just pretty disposable. Like once they get gross, it's not a big deal. Not gross, but like used. It's not a big deal to buy new ones because they're relatively cheap. It just feels so good to work large again. I mean, a lot of my canvases are pretty large already. Like, I've tried before to do smaller works and it just doesn't, I don't know, it just feels restricting. It feels limiting. And my whole life I've wanted to be free. I don't want to limit myself. And the large canvas just feels expansive, like infinite possibilities. Oh, that's pretty dark. I kind of like it though. That's nice. I might add some darker tones over here. It's pretty dark though. That's okay. The thing that I really like about this method is how, what's the word I'm trying to think of? There's just a lot of room for error. And I guess that goes back to, oh, that's cool. I guess that goes back to what I was talking about with ruining something? Like, is there even error? And I actually talked about this in my last video, being a 3-line in human design, which is all about experimentation. And since I learned that about myself, it's been a process to accept that part of me. But the more that I accept it and, you know, allow it and play with it, the more fun my life is getting, and my art practice too. It's just like, it's fun to see the mistakes. I don't know if I used this brush already. Well, we'll see. Oh, I like that color. Kind of like coffee mixed with vanilla. Yeah, that's nice. I think that's what making things and making art has allowed me. It's just given me grace to be myself more. I'm so grateful for that. And to get to play. It really is just playtime. This rag looks so cool. I like the spatters, but I don't like too many of them. Oh, you can see my hand there. Oh, I like that. So I have green, but I haven't gone in with the green yet, and I don't know if I will this time. I mean, I could use the same colors that I did in the last one. I kind of want to change it up. Oh, so I didn't spray over there yet, so that's what happens. It's always fun to see how the canvas will react in different ways. Like sometimes the paint pools, and sometimes, you know, if I've soaked it first, it behaves more like watercolor. I kind of like how that just landed over there though. I like the blended watery look, but then I also like the brush strokes and the, you know, the things that look like a mistake, the unintentional things that happen. I find that those are my favorite parts of my work. A lot of the time. It's like, ooh, that's fun. Oh, I didn't even plan that. Oh, that's part of the process. That's part of communing with Source. It's like I am just the vessel. I am just the medium, which is interesting because I was thinking about that last week in drawing class, how if I am the medium that has been chosen to create this thing, it's like taking an idea from the field, which is energetic. It's this energetic realm, and this idea wants to be expressed in the physical realm. And it's chosen me to be the vessel to express that idea. So who am I to say, that I have the potential of ruining it? Who am I to say what even is ruined? It's like, no, this thing that wants to be expressed knows exactly the best person to express it. And instead of being worried about changing it in some way, I can show up with reverence and realize that it's an honor to be chosen. So that's kind of what I was thinking about last week, which helped me feel better and gave me more confidence when it comes to my work. Like I am the perfect person to express this thing that wants to be expressed. That really helped. And I think anybody could say that about what they're working on, whether they're painting or writing or I don't know, doing math. It's like anytime we're focused on something, my knees just cracked. Oh my God. Anytime we're focused on something, it's like we're a channel for whatever wants to move, whatever wants to come through and play, and it's like a dance. And I think as humans, we get to experience that. We get to be co-creators, which is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. It's shaping how my thoughts and feelings and intentions are shaping reality. And what I put my focus on expands. And one thing that I realized recently was the more that I softened my heart, the more I realized that the people around me were softer too. Because our our exterior world is really just a reflection of our interior world. I'm liking these colors together. I think I want some brown over here. I love this tool so much. I'll use this one. Oh yeah. I'm starting off relatively neutral. I want browns and earth tones and like terracotta. Oh yeah, that's nice. And then I might go in tomorrow with other colors. But we'll see. Something that was really interesting the other day, the first backdrop that I did, well, it wasn't a backdrop, it was like a painting. They are paintings, but JD looked at it and with his photography background, he was like, that looks like a backdrop. And I thought, it really does. Like, that's cool. And so we ended up doing a photo shoot and it was really fun to shoot on. And turned out it just looked amazing in the photos. And so now I'm like playing with that idea. Maybe there are other photographers out there that would want a painted backdrop, not just something that's been mass produced, but something that's made by an artist, made by hand. Just feels kind of organic. It felt good to talk today. I've been writing too in my journal and speaking on voice memos in order to, because I feel like each medium just brings out different things. But the video feels good because I can work while I'm doing it and I get to really show, my thought process as I'm painting, which is fun because there's a lot of thoughts going on up there. Part of me is feeling like I should add some green. I mean, not should. I could add green. But I was wanting to do something a little bit different than the one that I made the last time, which had green. I might do a little bit more of this orangey. This is like the sienna, I guess you could call it. It's nice. I've watered down the paints so much now that before I was using water a lot. Now I don't have to use as much water, which is nice. It just gives it a different feel. It's a different effect. But I noticed it was easier to mix my pigments in bottles than it was in these yogurt containers. Because what I was doing before was adding the paint and the medium and the water and using a palette knife and like stirring it. And it was taking so long. So I was like, what would happen if I just put in a bottle and shook it up? And that worked really well. So this one is actually probably there's probably more pigment in the bottle than in the yogurt container. So let's see. It's all an experiment. Oh yeah, it's definitely more saturated. Which I like that. The other thing is that when the canvas gets wet, it's sort of, the paint pools in certain areas, and I like it to an extent. Like, I really like that. It's just so natural and organic looking. I'm gonna try to take away some of this. It's easier to add than to take away. The restraint is something that I am continually working with. Because I do love color. I do love brush strokes. And I've made some pretty colorful paintings, thinking that they would be underpaintings, and then they end up, I couldn't paint over them. And it's like, wow, that's a colorful painting. That's nice. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this yellowy color. I was thinking of it like cream. Oh, I just spilled. It is kind of like cream. It's definitely, there's more color to it than just the white canvas. But I don't know. It might be like too yellowy. The other thing is it looks different when it's dry. So everything kind of it dries differently. And I usually like it better the next day when I come in and I look at it and it's dry and it's like, oh, that's good. If I could just work and not judge it while I'm working, I feel like that's the ultimate freedom. Okay. I think I want to go a bit darker over here. But I'm going to start with the brown. I'm going to continue with this brown. I thought I had two different colors of brown. Oh, I do. I have this like, it's almost like a pinky brown. The other thing that I've been thinking about now that I'm working this way is I might get some knee pads or something. But it is ideal for working on the floor. Like I love working on the floor. So the way that the canvas is rippling there, and it's pretty dry over here, so I'm going to take advantage of that for the brush strokes. Just add a bunch more. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm gonna go in with, oh yeah, I wanted wait, oh, here. I was like, where did my other brown go? Oh yeah, that's nice. Another thing that I really like is sometimes I can see, like, the color hasn't fully mixed, and so I can see the colors that I used to mix them. So like this brown has magenta in it, and sometimes like a little splotch of magenta just came out, which I like that. It's seeing where the colors originated from. And part of me used to see that as a mistake, but now I really love it. As this area dries, I realize that I want some more brown over here. I really love going back and forth between the collage and the painting. And JD actually taught me that it's okay to work across different mediums because different mediums will help you express in different ways. He works in paint and sculpture, and now he's doing brooches, and he's also a photographer, and it's just so inspiring because it's like, well, you don't have to choose one. In my head it was always like, oh, I have to be a painter, and painting was the ultimate. And when I wasn't painting, I felt like I should be painting. Even when I was doing collage, it's like, oh, I should be painting. But now I realize that it's all just expression, and I can do whatever I want. We can literally do whatever we want. We just create these boxes that we think we have to reside in. Painting and collage have showed me that I don't need to do any of that. I can actually tear down the boxes if I am aware of them. But you have to monitor your thoughts in order to become aware and become the observer, not judging, but just seeing what comes up. Meditation's very helpful for that. And breathing, just taking a moment instead of reacting. To just give yourself a moment to think and to not judge. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm interested to see how this area with the spill, how that dries. Because I'll make a note of it, because if I like it and then I layer over top of it afterwards, which I think I will like it, then I'll do more of that. Like maybe the next time I don't pre-spray the canvas at all and I just go in on the dry canvas with the brush strokes. I could try that. I could work on the canvas not wet, and then the second time, once the brush strokes are dry, I can go in with this watery look, which is sort of the opposite of what I've been doing now. Like right now I start off with the watercolor look and then I go in with the brush strokes. So that little area is very interesting to me because I'll be thinking about it tonight when I'm at home. Well, we have drawing tonight, but yeah, I will be thinking about it tonight and then excited in the morning to come in and see how it dries and then how I can work with it tomorrow. I like that. So I think I'm going to continue painting a little bit. And we'll just see what else comes up with the speaking as I go. But I also feel like at any time we could stop recording. I feel very, I was going to say satisfied, but that is how generators feel. But I do feel satisfied. And successful. I'm always aiming for success. But I always feel successful when I paint. Painting is, as I said before, like the be-all end-all for me.